What's good with the YouTube? I'm back with another crazy story. As you can see by the title, this 14-year-old brother had hurt his little brother, and he finna get into it and tell his story. But before we get into it, smash that subscribe button for me. I'm trying to get to 100K subs. Now let's jump right into it.
Part 1 of my testimony of me getting SA by my own brother as a kid and how it affected me through my life. It took me a long time to either speak up and tell anybody about this. He's about 14, I'm about 7 or 8 at the time. And my dad, he owned his own business where he cleaned buildings and houses, so his schedule was just randomized. Well, when he would go to work, he would leave me home with my brother. And when my dad would leave, my brother would look at me and my other brother and tell me that he just needed to use us for practice. And at that age, I don't know what's going on. I'm at home with the person my dad told me to listen to because he's watching us, and he's telling me he needs to use us for practice. And he's forcing me to practice on things that I shouldn't even be doing at that age. And at first, it was a one-time thing, but then it just kept happening consistently and consistently. He just kept telling us he just needs to practice so he could get better. But before my dad would come home, he would tell us, yo, don't tell nobody what we did. Well, finally, it all stopped because he started getting in trouble and going to juvenile. So he moved back in with his mom and he was on house arrest and stuff. But that ain't stopped the effects of everything. It sucks because I started to sexualize everything I did. Like my cousins and sisters, they would have life-size dolls and I would go up to it, humping it, thinking that it's normal. Or like my sisters and cousins, they would have their friends come over and I'll just be running around the house, chasing them naked, trying to hump them. Or even like when it came to playing with like Barbie dolls with my cousins, because I grew up around a lot of girls, I would make the Barbie dolls and stuff, humping each other and stuff. And then I picked up like a habit of like peeing myself constantly. Like when I slept at night, I would pee the bed every night. If I had to go to the restroom and I wasn't near a restroom right then and there, I would pee myself. And it's like every time that I had to pee, I would get this sense of urgency, like I gotta go now. And it's crazy because it's still like that to this day. So he started to come back around after he got off of house arrest at his mom's house. And I started to hate going to my dad's house from the abuse I endured from my dad and the abuse that I endured from my brother. So every time my dad would come pick me up from my mom's, I would sit there and I would bawl my eyes out like, no, mom, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And there's nothing she could do in that moment because he had custody of me. So she had to send me, but she never understood why, because I never spoke up and told nobody what was going on. This is when I started getting to middle school and I'm really finding out what sex is and realizing what happened to me in my past. It was wrong. Like that should have never been done. I started to get real rebellious and I'll tell the school like I don't want to go home. Like it got to the point where I had to go to children's services one day, but they still sent me back to my dad's house. But I didn't want to be there, and I didn't want to be there from a young kid all the way up until I moved in with my mom. And I'm sitting here and I don't know how to tell nobody, especially because I'm a man and I don't know how that's gonna look. How is people gonna look at me knowing this happened to me, even though it wasn't my fault that it happened to me? So finally, I'm in 11th grade and I find out that he's going to prison for 6 years. And everybody's sitting here feeling remorse for him, but I'm sitting here like, good, he deserves that. Not for the crime that he's done to get that time, but for the things he's done to me. This is when COVID hit. It's my 12th grade year and I start finding God. Well, once I start finding God, my insecurities and the things that I've been holding on to really start to reveal themselves. So with all this weighing heavy on my heart, one day I'm at the gym and I just get done with my gym session and I go to the car and I start breaking down. And I ain't never cried like this before. So I typed up a text message and I finally told my family about it. And then I told my dad about it. And this is when my mom came to me. She just breaking down, like crying because she feels like she failed me and failed to protect me. And I'm like, Mom, it's not your fault. And at this time, I'm not really speaking to my dad, but I still told him about it because I was in his household. And he acted like he cared for like one day and then he never, and we just stopped talking for like almost 2 years. So after I told everybody, I thought this was the way to like release it and let go of it. but I was wrong. Because even though I was on my journey to like forgive and learning to forgive people, it was just something about this one situation that I just couldn't seem to forgive. It actually brought a lot of hatred in my heart. So when it came to like the LGBTQ community, I took what he did and I judged the whole group based off of it, which brought a lot of hatred in my heart for them too. And it's sad to say because they didn't do nothing to me. But at this time, it just felt like something that kept just weighing heavier and heavier, where it got to the point of thinking about myself and even thinking about like when he got out of prison, how am I gonna get him gone? Like it got to the point where I became real obsessed with like the first 48, trying to figure out how will I get away with offing him. It got to the point where I had to sit there and realize like, that is not me. That is not my identity. What he did to me is not who I am. That's who he is. Because it affected a lot in my life, for real. It affected how I loved, how I show love, how I connect to people. And sometimes it still does, if I'm being honest. It hindered my relationship with God, because to be forgiven, you gotta forgive. And I just wasn't in the right mind space to give it to God and truly forgive him. I was thinking about how to hurt him. What can I do to make him feel the pain that I felt? But I'm doing better now. I've been doing way better, really letting go of it. That's why I'm able to get on here and talk about it and let people know my experience so you could be aware of the signs and to come on here and tell you guys, if you're going through that, speak up about it. Don't sit there and let it eat you up inside, because it took me from 7 all the way to about 20 years old to speak up about it and tell somebody. So that's my story. Update video on when my brother essayed me at a young age and how it affected me throughout my life. And I just want to answer some questions and address some things I've seen in the comments. First, I just want to say thank you guys for all you guys' support. It's crazy to sit there and really just scroll through and read the comments and see that some people have similar stories as me, or even worse stories than me. And it's crazy because I just feel like it's not talked about enough, and it's just swept under the rug a lot of the times. And if I could be heard, you could be heard too. So don't hold it inside, letting it eat you up and destroy you. Find somebody that you could talk to. Make a video if you have to. Do whatever you got to do to release that thing that's been eating you up inside, man. I seen people in the comments ask me, did he get essayed at a young age? And to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I know when he was, quote unquote, using us for practice, it was for girls that he was messing with at school. And if he did, I genuinely pray that he heals from it, because I don't deserve to go through that. You don't deserve to go through that, and neither does he. Second thing I want to address is people ask me, do I talk to him? No, I don't. I'll probably never ever talk to him ever again. I don't even want to see bro in person, if I'm being honest. And he's in prison. No, he's not in prison for that situation. He's in prison for another situation, but he does get out this year. Third thing that I want to address is people ask me, am I gay? No, I'm not gay. It didn't change my sexuality. But I do know that with some victims, it does tend to change their sexuality as they grow up. Another thing that I want to address is people saying that it's fake or for views or for clout. That's not the case at all. I told myself that I wanted to get on this app and make videos, but that comes with me being 100% of who I am and authentic and real. And if that means telling my story so it can help out other people, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to come on this app and act like somebody that I'm not, or let people assume I'm a type of person when I'm not that type of person. I just pray that anybody going through anything, even if it's not this situation, I just pray that you heal and you grow from it. You just become a better version of yourself. And it starts with releasing it to let go of it.
Now, that's a crazy and sad story. I don't know what possessed a big brother to do his little brother like that, but that is real sick, man. I don't know what be going through people's head nowadays. You can't even trust your own siblings. You can't even trust your family, let alone your friends. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you'll be notified next time that I post. I'm trying to get to 100 subs, y'all, by the end of the year. Lock in with me. I'm gone.